43.
Do you support Trump?
I do.
And if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm kind of similar to the last caller that you mentioned. So I'm not sure if we want to rehash everything that you guys went over, but just based upon my values and the abortion thing is a huge thing for me. It's interesting because prior, I think the last two elections I voted for Trump. Prior to that, I actually voted for Obama. So at one point, I think, well, so years in the past, I was definitely more on the Democratic kind of side, left side of things. And then I think it's just for me that, I don't know, maybe since Obama, I just wasn't really happy with the Democratic Party and kind of their messaging. It just, I was like a big TYT kind of person and CNN, all that stuff. But then it just seemed to be like everything was just focused on like race, and everything was racial, and all these things were just getting blamed on race, and it just didn't seem about there was any accountability, individual accountability for anything. And so it kind of really steered me the other direction, if you can say that. So it's almost like the Democratic Party and their messaging really pushed me away from them. It's not like I would say like Trump is like, I don't, some of his morals and ethics, they can be viewed in a negative light for sure. But I think more for me, it's just the Democratic Party kind of pushed me away, what they stand for, maybe not as a whole, but just some of the things I just really didn't agree with and kind of their messaging. So that's kind of why I lean more to Trump. I'm really big on the abortion thing, just like the other caller. I too feel like, and I know you kind of disagree to a certain degree, but like to me, killing a baby in the womb is like that's goes against everything I believe in. And so, yeah, that's kind of why. That's more of the reasons why. One of immigration thing, I'm not really too sure about all of that. I think that we have laws, of course, that they should be followed. It's kind of unfortunate when you have families here, whether they come here legally or not, and they have to be either deported or, whatever the case may be, where they have to go back. And so that's kind of unfortunate. But I just feel like if we do have laws in place, they need to be followed. People may disagree with them or agree with them or not, but if you're breaking the law per se, then we have a right to to do what we need to do to enforce those laws, right? So that's just kind of my initial stance. Thoughts, questions?
Yeah, I guess to address the messaging part, we can start with that. How do you feel about Trump's messaging? Do you think Trump's messaging is preferable?
No, not necessarily. I think the way he says things are sometimes outlandish, sometimes rude, right? No, I don't think some of his messaging, sure, maybe, but not all of it. And he can be a little harsh and a little rude at times. So, yeah.
From like an overall basis, who's preferable, Harris or Trump in terms of messaging?
I guess it depends on how we grade the messaging, right?
Your own
I think
subjective
Trump,
analysis.
well, I think Trump is more. Here's the other thing about Trump I like. He's, I don't want to be cliche and all that, but he's just, he's not a politician. He doesn't say things in a way that are appeasing to folks and are the right thing to say and all that stuff. He's more direct. I can relate to that more, right? Kamala Harris and a lot of other politicians or just, they sugarcoat things, or they put it in a way in which it's like, they're on the fence type thing. Trump is just direct. If he likes something or if he doesn't like something, you're going to know about it, right? So that's kind of how I feel about him.
Oh, I really disagree with that. One, like objectively, every single candidate's going to be a politician. And then two, in terms of like, he says like the right thing rather than like describing specifically things that are like incorrect based upon interpretation or how you look at it, because like in sort of like a politician-y way. I would say just complete opposite of that. He said he was going to get rid of income tax, which you obviously know he's not going to do. He said he was going to build the wall, make Mexico pay for it. He said he was going to repeal and replace the ACA. He said he was going to end the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours. He said he was going to reduce electricity prices by 50%. He said he was going to start no new wars. He said he was going to release all the Epstein files. I mean,
Sure.
like there are countless things I can point to.
A lot of people say stuff things
So
that
he's
they
just like all
say
the other
and they don't
politicians
do.
then, right?
Well, okay, so yeah, he may be, and don't get me, yeah, he may be, but he's not like but he's just a little bit more direct to my liking. Let's just say that. So yeah, sure,
How?
he has some politician qualities, and he may
What's his
conform to the
healthcare
same
plan?
way as Kamala does, and as Biden does, and as Obama does, and as Republicans do. He's, maybe he's like that. I wouldn't say he's fully like that. He's not as the typical one, I would say. So yeah, of course, he may have said things that he said and then he didn't promise on, but so is everyone else. You're acting. I mean, like I would think Kamala probably, if she were president, she probably would have said stuff in her campaign that she didn't follow through, and we can criticize her on that too as well, right?
Okay.
So everyone has that.
So if Trump is so direct, what's his healthcare plan?
I don't know. I'm not too specific on all the policies for either candidate, so I can't. I'm not educated enough on that. I wish I were, and I'm not. So.
He doesn't have one.
You could
so
educate
you're
me
not
on
alone.
yourself,
It's not just you not being educated on it. It's that he doesn't have one.
Okay.
He said
Well, there you go.
concepts of a plan, and he kept saying it would happen in the next 2 weeks, and it never happened.
What's
We
Kamala's
can
healthcare
also.
plan?
What's up?
What's Kamala's healthcare plan?
Universal healthcare. She wanted to do expanded access to healthcare, a public option.
Okay.
Okay. So that's an example, right? And I think that's a pretty solid basis for saying, like, oh, Donald Trump's actually not as direct as you think, right? Him wanting to prevent the release of the Epstein files, that's not very direct.
Okay, well, let's go off the whole. Maybe the direct wording was wrong, but I just find him more relatable, or I don't know, compared to most
Okay.
politics.
So what tells you that
Politicians.
he's more relatable?
Just that he speaks his mind and doesn't really sugarcoat things.
I think he does sugarcoat things. What does it mean to sugarcoat something?
Just the way one articulates himself, and
So when he says we're in a golden age right now, that's not sugarcoating it.
that might be. But when he tells a reporter, you're done, get off the stage and all that, it may be rude, but I doubt any other politician would say that, whether you like it or not, right?
So you
That's
support
kind
him
of the
because he's rude.
sugarcoating. No, no, I didn't say that. I'm just saying we're talking about sugarcoating things.
But he does that all the
Right.
time. He says we are in the greatest economy ever, that we've never had an economy that's doing so great, that we're the
Yeah,
hottest
so
country in the world, that we
Doesn't
are in a
any
golden age.
politician
And
do
I mean,
that
those things
when
are
they're-
false.
when they're- Doesn't any politician do that?
Well, I'm
I mean,
sorry,
what are you gonna?
can't-
Are they
you
going to say
can't
that
say-
we're not in a golden age? We're doing terrible. We're bad at this. No,
listen.
they're gonna try to spruce up everything that they can,
But you
whether it
can't
be the
say-
smallest thing.
You're not making any sense. You can't say
No, I'm making perfect sense.
No, you can't say I do like him because he's not like all the other politicians, and then justify his behavior because it's like all the other politicians. Does that make sense?
I'm not justifying I'm not justifying.
That's
I
how
just said
you
that
just
he's
justified
more
it.
relatable to me, right? I just find him more related. I just find him more
Yeah.
genuine. I guess I find him more. Well, I don't know. He just he doesn't care what people think. Obviously
He totally
and-
does. He has 30,000 confirmed lies in his first administration. He lies all the time. He still lies about the 2020 election. He sugarcoats that for his base all the time. I mean, there's a million things that he sugarcoats. Like, what do
Okay,
you
well,
mean? What is he
like I
relatable?
said, I'm
What is
not
he
saying he
relatable
doesn't- I
in?
don't-
Like
I
he
didn't say he
he
doesn't
grew up.
sugarcoat
Like,
things.
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, what is he like? Seriously, in what way is he relatable?
I don't know, just to your average guy who doesn't know, everything about politics, I guess, and I don't know. I just to me, I just find him more. Maybe I'm just having a hard time articulating it, but it's just I don't know.
It's because he doesn't understand politics. You support him because of that?
When did I ever say that?
Well, you just said it like he's like an average guy who doesn't understand politics.
So does that mean that I don't understand the logic there? Just
You
because
said he's relatable because he's like an average guy that doesn't understand politics. Is that not what you just said?
I didn't say that he doesn't understand politics. So whoever said that?
Is he
I never
relatable
said
to
he
that?
doesn't. I never said he doesn't
So
understand
he's
politics.
not
So
that,
you're
but
putting
he's
words into my
relatable
mouth.
to the average guy that doesn't understand politics, right?
I never said that he doesn't understand. I just said that he's relatable. He's okay to the like not that he doesn't understand it, but that maybe they do or do not understand politics or not. I'm not sure. He's just more relatable. Let's get off the whole relatable.
But I
thing.
asked you in
Or
what
not.
way?
What else?
In what way is he more relatable?
I just personally find him not so politician like. Like there's no one like him. Who can you compare him to politician wise out there recently?
Oh, he's worse than every single one. Himself,
Okay,
one.
well,
He's
okay,
the
he's worse, but
politician,
yeah, but
two.
there's no one like him. There's no one like him, correct?
Yes, there
So
is. Like
who? You
he's
just said
literally
there wasn't.
JD
He's the
Vance.
worst.
JD Vance is
Okay.
just like Trump. They're liars. They're slippery. They'll say whatever they can to get them elected. That's exactly what he's like. What are you talking about? There's a whole lot
So
of
there's
people that are
JD
just like
Vance.
Trump.
Oh, well, I don't know anyone just like Trump, but that's just
The
I guess
entire
me.
MAGA movement wants to be just like him.
Examples you mentioned JD Vance,
Yeah. You don't
and
think people who are cheaters and stealers and con men have been existing in politics?
yeah, there's a lot of those in the Republican and Democrat Party.
Yeah,
I'm
mainly the Republican.
well, okay, sure. I mean, but that's because you're a Democrat and a
It's not
felon.
just because I'm a Democrat. It's because I can acknowledge the truth, and then it happens to align with
So
the
there's
Democratic
no
Party more.
cheaters and corrupt politicians on the Democrat side. They're all on the Republican side.
I just said that they're greater in prevalence on the Republican side.
You'd have to show me where you could have to prove that to me, but I think they're
Yeah,
equal. Maybe
for
there's a
every
little bit
single
more on
person that
one.
you name that's corrupt on the Democratic side, I'll name you two from the Republican side. You want to do that?
No, because I don't know all of I think they're equally corrupt. I think there's corruption on both sides. So
Okay. Can you name
I don't. I
two Democratic politicians you believe are corrupt?
probably any of them, all of them. I think there's corruption
So
in
name
most
two.
things. I don't. Kamala,
Okay. Who
Biden,
else? Okay. How are they
Biden. That's
corrupt under
two.
your view?
I don't. I like I said, I don't know everything that they've done, but there's probably some corruption that's involved, and I can't. Like I said, I'm not. I don't
So you
know.
don't know the
I'm
corruption. You're
not
just
that much
assuming.
color. Well, you're assuming that it's greater on the Republican side than the Democrat side.
I'm not.
So, and
I can give
how
you
can you
basis for
justify
that
it? You said you
because
can
the
name me two
Republicans
for
are
everyone
currently
I said.
defending Donald Trump, who is literally insider trading from the Oval Office, who's made billions of dollars from the Oval Office, who's taking $400 million jets from Qatar, who's quite literally has a fucking social media platform that he can make money from foreign companies deciding to buy valuation of it. So I can point to countless things about how Donald Trump is engaged in blatantly and obviously corrupt behavior, and they're defending it. They're supporting it.
Okay. And so, what are some of the corrupt things on the Democrat side that you don't like that people are supporting?
Some of the corrupt things on the Democratic side that I don't support. Well, I think being
Yeah.
pro-war, right? You have individuals such as John Fetterman, right, that specifically support the war with Iran. I think that's pretty
Mm,
corrupt. I
okay.
think APAC's influence and Super PAC's influence over our politics is pretty corrupt.
Yeah. Yeah. So my point is, yeah, there's corruption. There's corruption that's out there, and if you say that it's more prevalent on the MAGA or right side, then hey, I mean, maybe I guess I'm not sure how people are quantifying that and recording that, but I just think that there's corruption on both sides. Anyways, I'm not sure
Okay,
where this
there
is
being
leading
corruption
down
on both
to.
sides does not mean corruption is the same in the level of prevalence on both sides.
Okay, so how do you measure that? How do you say one is one thing or it's more than the
Using
other? What?
reason, saying you
Okay.
shouldn't support corrupt candidates, and then actively having measures within your party to limit corrupt candidates from being in these positions of power.
Yeah, but okay. All right. Sure. So we both agree that there's corruption on both sides. You just feel that it's more on the right
Prevalent
side.
amongst the Republicans, yeah.
Yeah. So
And that also
as
doesn't
long
mean
as it's more prevalent and what you call it, that person shouldn't be in office. But if the other person's in office, if the corruption is less, that's okay because it's less.
no, it's just the preferable candidate. No corruption is okay. I would just
Yeah.
prefer
Okay.
the
Good.
lesser amount of corruption to the
Oh,
greater level of corruption.
okay. I think we're both in agreement of that. If there is more corruption on the right side, shame on you, right side, and try to have less corruption. They'll still be there, but have less of it. I agree. Yep. Me and you both in agreement on that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean, I like. Here's the thing, like, I I just barely started kind of getting into politics, and I actually really commend you. I mean, you seem pretty young, and you know a lot more than I do, and you have a lot more stuff, that you can point out to, and I think that's amazing. I think that's great, and I think it's good that you're able to challenge folks that are more experienced than I am, and then those kind of like me, right, who maybe not know everything and are trying to get their feet wet a little bit so that we can be more knowledgeable and educated on matters. So, shout out to you for doing this. I'm not really too much more I want to say. Sorry that you're getting all these people who are just kind of. I don't agree with that when people just come in and just yell stuff out or they just kind of troll you. That's kind of ridiculous. But I think it's awesome what you're doing, man. Keep it up.
I guess I have one question before you leave. Is there anything
Yeah.
Trump could do that would get you to stop supporting him?
Oh, I probably, yeah, most likely. I'm not one of those folks that say, no, there's nothing he could do, of course. I mean, if, he comes out and says, everyone, Satanism is the, official religion of the world, or if he, there's
What about if he
definitely stuff
called for the execution of some of his political opponents?
the ex.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. That probably dude would deter me from voting for him, or
What if I told you he actually did do that?
just give me some context about it.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna play you a video because I think that would be the best visually speaking. It's a pretty quick video. It's from my friend Dean, who made a video on this very thing. He'll show you on the Truth Social messages that Trump posted on the screen. So give me one quick second. Let me pull that up for you. Here we are.
And when was this, Parker?
November
Was this recent?
20th, 2020.
More
Gotcha.
specifically, the hanging of any Democrat urging our military to ignore any unlawful order given to them by him. I can't believe that this is a real video. I never thought I would be reporting this headline in my life. And just to clarify, you heard me right. If you want members of our military to honor their oath and uphold the Constitution, then Donald Trump wants you dead. So here's everything that you need to know. Donald Trump posted this on Truth Social. He responded to a post published by the Washington Examiner titled, "Democratic Veterans in Congress Urge Service Members to Refuse Unspecified Unlawful Orders," by saying that this is really bad and dangerous to our country and that their words cannot be allowed to stand. He then followed that up with a second post that reads, "This is seditious behavior, punishable by death." And then he reposted a comment that reads, quote unquote, "Hang them, George Washington would."
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I guess that's pretty bad. I mean, he's saying, what was the first part, the first comment he put? Sorry, I
got
missed
you.
that.
Yeah, I will have to play back the clip.
The
because
President
Instagram
of the United
Makes
States.
me do it. I'll just make sure to mute it while we do.
Yeah.
Just give me one
No, I'm
second.
just trying to think. I'm just trying to think if it was like a direct thing, because this is kind of saying like overall they were not follow. What was it? Something. He gave an order. They didn't want to follow it. Right? They thought it was unlawful.
No. They said if you're given an unlawful order, don't follow it. That's all they said. It was unspecified. They never said what order was unlawful.
Oh, okay. And then I guess the what do you call it? The summation of that was that
Right here.
punishable by death. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and repeat that.
So this is the original tweet that was sent.
Yeah.
Washington Examiner. Democratic veterans in Congress urge service members to refuse unspecified unlawful orders.
Yeah.
And Trump responds to that with, one second. He responds to it with, "This is really bad and dangerous to our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors. Lock them up, President DJT."
Okay, that's not too bad. Okay.
The second post is, and by the way, that's not seditious behavior or traitorous behavior. The second one is seditious behavior, punishable by death.
Okay, punishable by death. Yeah, I'm not sure about all that. Okay, yep. I mean, that's not like the huge thing. It's probably,
here's the last
maybe
one.
a little over exaggeration.
He reposted someone saying, "Hang them, George Washington would." Saying
Wait,
hang
so-
them is calling for their death.
Well, who is this P78? So who's reposting it? I'm not seeing Donald Trump there.
Donald
if he
Trump
says-
reposted. Oh, sorry, you can't even. I have it set up so you can't even see that Donald Trump reposted it. There you go.
Donald Trump. Okay, there we go. Donald. Yeah, because I was seeing a P-78
Yeah,
and
you didn't even
Donald
see it. I
Trump.
apologize. That's my bad because I didn't do that. So you see how Donald Trump retruthed it?
Yeah, I mean, if he reach, I'm assuming I don't know what the true social. I'm assuming that's the
Yeah,
same thing as
it's a
reposting or
repost.
whatever.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if I reposted someone saying this on like my platform, that's essentially me endorsing them saying that, is it not?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I mean, that's pretty bad with the repost. I'm not trying to justify like, oh, he didn't say it. He reposted something. Um, and so yeah, I mean, that's pretty bad. That's not like the greatest thing he could say. If I could try to,
Is that like
what do you call it?
disqualifying for your support? Because to me, that's like when you're going after like your political opponents, that's to me is like incredibly anti-democratic, and that's like the authoritarian playbook is to go after your political opponents, whether it be Stalin, whether it be Hitler, whether it be any of those like leaders like Mussolini, right? Those dictators and those fascist leaders, right? They all went after their political opponents like that, right?
Yeah, I mean it's bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not the greatest thing. Probably obviously words I wouldn't. Is that something that would like make me lose my his support? I don't know. Possibly. It's not great. I don't think we should be targeting people and political opponents or whatever. Especially with death. But yeah, not the greatest thing. Uh, I don't know. It still seems kind of just because he reposted it. It's not his words per se, so it's not direct. It's indirectly. I don't
I,
know. It's still
I think
bad,
I think it's the same as
but
his words. It was reposted right after he did that, and that's him supporting that message. You repost something because you agree with it.
yeah, yeah. No, I hear you out. I hear you out. People say dumb things, and maybe sometimes people take things back, and
It's
that's
not
why
like
we
he
have.
reposted a video and you like didn't watch the whole video, right? That's not even like the plausible deniability that you have here. It's like one specific statement. Hang them, George Washington Wood. You couldn't have missed it. Not possible, right? So it's like
Yeah, no,
the
I
intent
hear you.
behind reposting that in of itself is him trying to normalize the idea that people believe that they should have been hung for that behavior, which that behavior was not seditious, it was not traitorous, right? And there are actually behaviors I can point to of Donald Trump's that would meet the behavior of being seditious and traitorous, right?
Yeah,
Like
no, I hear you.
explicitly on January 6th, where he pardoned the violent rioters who beat police officers and called them patriots. That sounds like traitor behavior to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I don't know about this one. Like I said, he's said a lot of dumb stuff that I don't agree with. But I think, like, for me, too, overall, like, just the party, whether it be Trump or not, whether it be someone else, JD Vance or whatever, right? Um, I just have a tendency to have my support to the right side, the Republican Party, just kind of based on not just based solely on that, but like alluding to the whole abortion thing. I just those values, like I think for me too, Christian values align more to the right side of thing. Even though on the
I
Republican
disagree with
side, there's
that.
there's corruption and stuff like that. I think it's on both sides, but
Really.
like
So,
abortion thing, like that's huge if you're a Christian,
can I ask you a
right?
question?
That's like
If
yeah,
Jesus were forced to vote in the election, who would
yeah.
Jesus vote for?
I don't think he'd vote for anybody. To be honest, I think he'd all think they're all bad. I can't speak for
I'm
Jesus,
saying
obviously.
if there was a necessary choice between Harris versus Trump.
I don't know. I can't speak for him. I'm me. I would say I would if he had to pick someone, I would probably say Republican side, but I could be wrong
You
on
think
that.
he
I
would
have no
vote for
idea.
Trump? You think Jesus would vote for Trump?
I said the Republican side. I don't know about Trump. Like maybe not
Like if it were
Trump.
Trump versus Harris.
Trump versus Harris. I don't know. I have no idea. Because Harris is all about I don't know because I think that's not a hard choice for him, but I have no idea what would weigh more than the others. Like do you have the killing of unborn? And I think he would believe that babies are babies and not fetuses and all that. I would think he would think that they're human life,
Then
right?
why did he create a process in which zygotes are naturally flushed out of the system? Like not all
But
zygotes that are created, all fertilized eggs, right, yield pregnancies. Many of them are flushed through the system, right,
yeah,
of
but in the
people's
Bible it
bodies.
also but in the Bible it
So
also mentions
they
that
just like
God.
die. What's up?
But in the Bible, it also mentions that God knew you, me, you, Parker, and everyone else here on the world,
Yeah.
even before we were formed in our womb, right?
Yeah, and
So
even
though
before
there's a
you were
process-
conceived.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure
so then
did.
I don't know
Yeah.
why do you know what doesn't make sense to me? Why do people bring this verse up to have any relevance? Because like God knew you before you were conceived. So if
Yeah.
God knew you
So
before you were
he knew you
conceived,
had a soul,
what
a
relevance does
spirit,
this
and all
have
of
to the
that.
conversation we were just talking about?
Because I'm talking about that you're a human life. You think we're not human. I don't know the term you call it.
That has
Satious
nothing to
or
do with when human
whatever.
life begins. Whenever God knew you has nothing to do with when life begins because God knew you before you were even life. God knew you
Yeah, and you're
before
killing
you were
that.
created. God knew you before the earth was created.
Yeah, God knows it all. You're right. He's very powerful.
Yeah,
You're
you
right.
believe God's
So
all knowing, right?
I believe that Jesus would side on the side of those who support life at any stage before conception, all that stuff, right? So I don't think he would side on the side that doesn't believe. You think that Jesus would side on the side of Kamala or whomever,
Kamala,
of Democratic side? Or sorry,
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
On there he would. So he would say it's acceptable. Jesus is like, yes, yes. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's by state. It's different term lengths
Hey,
or whatever.
Jesus is pro-choice.
Jesus is like, hey, yes,
Did
it's
you know
okay
Jesus
for
is
that.
pro-choice?
No, I'm answer my first
Hey,
question.
Jesus
is
allows
okay
for
with that.
abortions to occur.
He does.
Yeah,
Yes,
Jesus
but
does not prevent pregnant
he also
individuals
allows
from
for
getting
corruption.
abortions.
He also allows for there to be corruption and killings and murder and all that. Does he agree with that? Would he support that though? No, right?
Yeah,
He
but like
doesn't
we're just talking
support
about whether
murder.
it's legal. And also, did you know in
No, you
Numbers it
asked me
explicitly tells a woman to get an abortion?
no.
Yeah, in the instance in which the husband thinks that the woman has cheated, right? He can have her in Numbers 5:11 through 31 go to a priest. They then drink like this bitter water, and essentially it will
Well, you're talking
induce a
about Old
miscarriage.
Testament though. That's Old Testament though, right? So,
Okay,
so
and is
we're
that not
talking about Jesus.
was that
right?
not
Like,
something that your God did at some point in history?
yeah, he sure did. Yeah,
Okay, so then
yeah.
you're saying abortion at that point in history, in that context, was justified.
Sure. I don't know. I have to go back into that. But you're talking about at one point in time. We're talking about Jesus who came after that and what he would do now, right? I thought that's what we were talking
Yeah,
about.
but Jesus fulfilled the law, right? He didn't come
God's
to
law.
destroy the law. He came to fulfill it.
Yeah, but the context of that is, yeah, but he didn't come to destroy the law. But we're talking about specific. Anyways, I think we're getting off track. I think the question was, who would Jesus, pick? Sorry, Kamala, right? Kamala or Trump? And I said I'm not sure who he would pick, but I said who he would side on, or he would like in terms of specific points that they had, like for the abortion aspect of it. I think Jesus would be on the side of non-abortions, right? Maybe for other things, they may fall on Kamala's end that he would agree with. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but which side saves more innocent human lives? If God cares more about saving more innocent human lives, well, then God would vote for the Democrats because they would save millions more innocent human lives. They wouldn't have cut USAID through the context of Doge.
I think he would side on try to save as many lives as possible.
Yeah, that's the
Like
Democrats.
in the sense of like he would not want to kill. He would not have abortions either. Like sure, maybe
but like if
Democrats
you're
do save more
if
lives.
it's
I'm
only
talking
one
about
option
specifically
versus the
abortion.
other, if it's only one option versus the other, you don't get a perfect option.
I know, but that's what I said. I didn't say.
So
I said maybe
what would
he
Jesus
side
do if
on
there's
other
no
things.
perfect option?
I don't know. Jesus, dear Lord, could you please inform Parker what you would do? Because I have no idea what you would choose. I don't know. I have no idea. Right? Like, what do you think?
So I don't think you're ever going to get an answer to that question.
What do you think he would do?
I would say that like the preferable thing to do in this scenario would be to vote for the individuals that save more innocent human lives. If you care more about saving innocent human lives than you care about restricting access to abortion, then I think that logically necessitates that you're going to support the side that saves more human lives over the other one that just restricts access to abortion. And even the restricting access to abortion hasn't even led to less abortions happening. We've seen more abortions since the overturning of Roe versus Wade.
Well, I think Jesus would. I mean, ultimately, Jesus saves human lives. And so I don't think he would agree with any of these candidates. I don't think he would agree with any of our earthly laws at all. And I think that our ultimate goal is eternal presence with God in the afterlife. We're here on earth for, just as the Bible says, just a whisper in time, right? So we're here for 100 years or less, right, on earth. Ultimately, we want to be saved and be with him at the end.
I'm confused with what that has to do with any of the questions we were talking about.
I'm just throwing out some.
I'm familiar. I grew up Christian.
Yeah. So when we're talking about, it has to do with the content or with the conversation, because you're saying what saves more human lives. I think that's for Jesus. I think that's human life is important, but in terms of just life, like saving lives, that's the ultimate goal, is about just life and like how we define life here on earth
in the galaxy.
Yeah. Well, you can mock that. That's fine. I mean, but that's
I mock what?
Well, you said something about the galaxy, so maybe I heard you wrong. I'm not sure what you meant by that.
Someone sent a galaxy on TikTok. I said thank you for the galaxy.
Oh, my bad. I don't go here on TikTok.
It's okay.
That much, so I don't know all the terms and all that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, but anyways, Parker, I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate you for challenging me too. Like, hopefully, I'm not coming off as ignorant as I may sound. But I do want to be more educated on matters, and this will just help me to for voting choice in the future as well. I don't think that Trump is like the best candidate in the world. You're not going to find a perfect one anywhere, but it at least helps me to kind of have a reflection and think about what's important to me and what I'm voting on, and just to get more experience and gain more knowledge. So with that being said, pleasure talking to you. I got to head back, and you have a good one. God bless you.